The field now in the hands of Eric Jones. Second career pole, one on Friday. He and Joey Logano coming in front of the grandstands. We're underway in Vegas. Already a fight for the lead. Logano diving to the bottom of the track in 3. He'll take the spot away from Jones on lap 1.
Slid way up the racetrack, drove into turn 3, kind of drove the corner a little bit, but really didn't lose any speed doing it. And here comes 18 of Kyle Busch on the bottom of the racetrack.
The bottom of the racetrack, very, very rough. We'll see this line move up the track to avoid those bumps, but right now, everyone with the fresh Goodyear tires hugging that bottom white line, the shortest distance around this racetrack. Now you see Kevin Harvick looking to the inside of Kurt Busch. Already, Chase Elliott has decided the apron will work when he went through the front stretch.
See Kurt there making the middle of the racetrack work. Certainly Harvick looks a little bit faster, but really Busch was able to stay with him on corner entry at that top lane. And Junior, I think that's what you're expecting. You keep saying this top lane's going to come in. Well, early in the run, maybe the bottom, but as this track gets hotter and slicker and the tires get older, you're going to move up the racetrack.
Yeah, on new tires with the grip, guys are going to be chasing around the bottom. That top's going to come in as we get around lap 20, and the spotters and the drivers will communicate. Somebody's going to jump up there. Somebody's going to start going fast. Other teams will communicate that to their driver. Hey, someone's making time up on the high side. And they'll start to know by about halfway through the race, right around what lap to move up. They'll say, all right, man, maybe go up and try that high side here around lap 15 or so.
Well, you guys have been talking bottom versus top. One thing about the bottom of the racetrack, it's very rough. The best way to show it, ride on this helmet of Denny Hamlin. Junior, take us for a lap.
It's a really bumpy racetrack down into turn 1 of the worst bumps. We're going down into 1. He's actually going to go around the bumps. Still rough up here, but the bottom is even worse. And he's already decided to sort of go around those bumps, and that's another reason why those guys will run that high line, just because it's smoother. It's easier. Some bumps down here in 3 and 4. The worst bumps in this end of the racetrack are on corner exit, right out here against the fence. Right there. Wham, wham, wham. There's some bumps right against the fence. Car bounces on the right front stop real hard. Shakes the driver. Deal with that all day long. Now he's down to the bottom. Look at that. That's how rough it is down there. All the way off the wall down into the center of the corner. There's a tunnel on that end of the racetrack. Bumps all the way off the wall down into that tunnel.
I'd have to take some Dramamine. That'd make me motion sickness. It's so rough.
Yeah, you deal with it all day long. Doesn't go away. Even as the tire pressures come up and so forth. The bumps off turn 4 are just as annoying as the bumps into turn 1. We don't talk about them as much, but.
So Logano has separated himself from Kyle Busch by about 9/10 of a second. Then Eric Jones has fallen back to 3rd. Blaney running 4th. Kevin Harvick is 5th. Kurt Busch 6th. Denny Hamlin, as we were just riding along with him, in 7th. Martin Truex Jr. 8th. Chase Elliott 9th. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 10th. Marty.
Rick, you saw how bumpy it was for Denny Hamlin. Right behind him is Martin Truex Jr., and they intentionally run through the bumps. They're just so much better on the bottom of the racetrack, and it takes a while for that car to come in. Junior, that's kind of counterintuitive. You would think, hey, you would run one high, even though he's going high right now to get around Denny Hamlin. You would think you would run high, avoid those bumps. For Truex and those guys like the bottom so much, they're willing to go through those bumps all day long because they think that's where the speed is.
Yeah, he ran the bottom in practice. I texted him this morning. I said, you going to get on the fence at all this weekend? See what that car can really do? But he's been running the bottom, and he's been having great times and great speed doing that. You know, if you don't got to go up to find speed, don't go up there. His car obviously has a great front end to get through the bumps, the stops, the springs. Everything's timed perfectly that he doesn't have issues like most of the guys do getting through there.
Let's go all the way back to the front. Joey Logano, he's out over a second on Kyle Busch. And I think this race is huge for Joey Logano and his team. You know, Joey, they really haven't shown a lot of speed in the regular season, and they unloaded fast here in practice. They qualified well. They were good all the way through practice, and I think that's important to now take off here early in the race and drive away from from Kyle Busch, who many people believe is a contender to win this championship, or maybe the favorite. But this has been a good racetrack for Joey Logano, and I think that when you go to somewhere that you've been good, he's led laps in 5 straight races here. When you go somewhere that you've been good, you need to be good right now at the start of the playoffs. You've got to build some positive momentum, and right now, it's going that way for Joey Logano.
And this team very hungry. They did not make the playoffs last year. They want to show everyone they are championship contenders.
NASCAR Heat 3 is available now on the Xbox One.
NASCAR Drive is your live race day companion. Watch throughout the broadcast, select alternate camera angles, or you can even ride along with in-car video of your favorite drivers. Visit NASCAR.com/drive or download the NASCAR mobile app today. Somebody on not a normal Sunday drive, driving to the front is Kevin Harvick. Harvick has taken over the top spot and now pulling away. And pit stops have started, Dave.
15th place car, Brad Keselowski comes to pit road. His car was a bit free, but not too bad. He's been really trying to take care of that right front tire. They'll get a look at it when it comes off, Marty.
We told you about Ryan Blaney saying he was, quote, a roadblock. He said after that, the car is absolutely terrible. I need front turn, and I can't stand you to loosen up the back anymore. A lot of changes here for that 12 car, Dave.
41 car's been a little bit tight. Actually, it went loose everywhere near the end of that run for Kurt Busch, so he'll get 4 Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel on the 41. Marty?
Took a little bit longer for the 78 car to come in than I think Martin Truex Jr. expected. About lap 10, it started getting much better. They stayed committed to the bottom the entire time. A little bit too tight early in the run, Parker, but it freed up the longer they went.
And Austin Dillon started this race 38th, got inside the top 20, but fell back a little bit. Just got too tight there at the end of the run. 4 Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel for the 3, Dave.
Kevin Harvick, obviously very, very good, has found his way to the front, searching the fastest line on the racetrack. He'll get 4 fresh tires and fuel.
You don't want to make a mistake when you come to pit road, and that's exactly what happened with Trevor Bayne and the 6. Marty.
Kyle Larson on pit road. He said, when I get to the wall, the car cuts good. Otherwise, we struggle a little bit on the bottom. A little bit of an air pressure change. Not a big change here for the 42 of Kyle Larson. Green flag stops continuing here at Vegas. You see at the front of pit road there, Eric Jones on pit road as well, Parker.
Kyle Busch pits out of the lead. He just needs to be freer in the center right now if he's to beat that 22 car. It's 4 Goodyear tires and air pressure adjustment on the 18, Kelly.
Chase Elliott came to pit road. He had been running in the 8th position for much of this race. He said by the end that his 9 car was just turning a little bit free. You see they've got the wrench in to make a chassis adjustment. There'll be an air pressure adjustment for Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel.
Denny Hamlin is coming down pit road now in the 11. You'll see on the helmet cam right there. He'll look, make sure in the mirror that there are no cars coming in. Take a look to the right, sees his pit sign, and he'll pull in. Hits his marks perfectly. They pull the sign away. They'll go to work. Chassis adjustment for him. Wasn't happy with the handling of his race car. He'll get 4 fresh Goodyear tires and a full load of Sunoco fuel.
I mentioned Trevor Bayne as they continue to work. A little bit slower stop there for Denny Hamlin, but mentioned Trevor Bayne and speeding on pit road. He hadn't come to pit road yet, and so they just showed him the black flag with the white cross on it, which means they're no longer going to score the 6 until they come and serve their penalty. Denny Hamlin coming off of pit road. Again, cycling through all of these green flag pit stops. Regan Smith in the 95 has decided to stay out, so right now he is being shown as the leader. Kevin Harvick had a 1.2-second lead on Joey Logano when pit stop started. Right now, Harvick and Logano are running 4th and 5th. The 3 cars in front of them have not come to pit road yet.
Right off the pit road after this cycle, 22 car's got some decent front-end speed, but I don't know whether he has the long-run speed to run with that 4-car, Jeff.
Yeah, that's what we saw earlier is that, Joey Logano took off, he dropped the green flag, he drove away from everybody, but Kevin Harvick wasn't in front of the field. So we really don't know what kind of takeoff speed he has because he didn't have the clean air that Joey Logano has. And we saw here in the spring, Harvick just dominated this race. And I don't think they want to get Kevin Harvick out in front of this pack. You're going to have to fight him all day. He had great speed in practice and was so good here in the spring.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to give him
I like what I'm seeing out of this 22 car right here after on these newer tires, and he's able to keep pace with the 4. What has he made as far as adjustments to be able to have that speed at the end of the run? That's the question.
The other thing is Kevin Harvick He's done this a long time, and when you talk about potential tire troubles, the damage can happen the first lap after a green flag pit stop. So a veteran driver, Kelly, will go out there, run 80% just for one lap, give that tire a little bit of relief, and then hammer down.
I can tell you that they made an air pressure adjustment on that 22 car to try to help Joey Logano out. By the end of that first stint, he was loose on one end of the racetrack, tight on the other end, and he said he was just having too much trouble holding down the bottom of the racetrack. We'll see how this adjustment helps him out, Dave.
Kelly, just a little bit of trouble on the right front tire of playoff contender Alex Bowman. You see it on the inside of the right front there. Guess what, guys? You wouldn't be surprised to hear this. He said, took off real tight. Steve, can you explain why a tight race car damages the tire worse?
Well, it's simple. A tight race car means the front tires are sliding. It's like going in on a patch of ice, turning the wheel, but going straight. That's what Alex Bowman is feeling. He goes in the racetrack. When the car goes straight, it's sliding that right front tire. A sliding tire creates more heat, damages the tire.
And Martin Truex Jr. on the bottom of the racetrack trying to stay in front of the 18 of Kyle Busch.
Truex had great speed on the bottom, staying on the bottom the whole first run. He's moving into the top 5 here. Kyle Busch running that high side pretty early in this run. I think he wants to probably work on the balance of that car so that he doesn't have to run there so early, because you see it's not moving him forward. He's not making speed there. He just lost the position to Martin Truex Jr. About to lose maybe another spot here to Kyle Larson.
Something else, Junior, to think about is Kyle pitted after everybody else. He has 2 laps newer tires than the people he's racing around. I know 2 laps doesn't sound like much, but at this racetrack, that is something, and they are still not able. He's still not able to keep up, even though he has a little bit fresher tires.
I know. I'm surprised he's up high this early in this particular run, and I'm sure he doesn't want to be there. He wants to run out. There he goes to the bottom.
So when we went away to commercial a little while ago, Kevin Harvick took the lead, and you see how easy it was. He just turned left and drove underneath the bush and just drove off, and then in the next lap, he ran down Joey Logano and just put his left sides on the white line, and this is Kevin Harvick. That's what we see on these hot, slick racetracks. Kevin Harvick does such a good job of just wrapping the line, putting his left sides on that white line and just rolling all the way around the racetrack, and that's how he took the lead here, and that's what we saw here in the spring.
Good battle for second here. Kurt Busch, man, he's been fast all weekend too. He says this ain't a great track for him, but he's got a real opportunity to have an awesome day today. Martin Truex Jr. joins this battle for second place. Once these guys cycle, this will be the battle for second, and there it is.
And this is what I'm waiting for. Who's going to emerge from the middle of this playoff pack? We talk about the big 3. Kurt Busch of the 41. He raises his hand early and says, I want to be a contender.
Las Vegas, 10 laps to go in stage 1. Kyle Larson with an unscheduled stop. You can see that right front tire is flat. He said 1 lap ago, I think I might have something wrong with the right front. We talked about potential tire issues today, and Parker mentioned teams running the low line to save that right front. Where's Kyle Larson been all day long? That high line, that right front, gone for that 42 car, pitting when they don't want to pit here with now 9 laps to go in stage 1.
Double whammy. Not only is he going to lose a lap, but as you mentioned, Marty, the most inopportune time, because in 8 more laps, points are going to be given out to that top 10. And when we talk the playoffs, it's about points. It's about advancing, and he's going to miss out.
That's the only thing about running that high side is it feels so good, man. You'll drive the right front right off the car. We've done it before, Steve. I've been up there and running, and had 3-4 tenths on the field, and you would tell me, hey, man, you need to back it down a little bit. You don't have to run that hard and beat that right front tire up.
Yeah, we've had that conversation because you said, well, I don't know. I just know it feels good, and it was my job to manage it. You go as fast as you think, and if I thought you were going too hard, we would end up managing the races. We got better the more races we had run together.
On the bright side, guys, the car didn't look like it was damaged. You know, when you have a right front tire failure and it doesn't tear the right front fender off, I think that's a win in a bad situation. It could have been much worse.
Parker.
Well, guys, we've talked about the heat the drivers are experiencing inside the cars. We saw that temperature gauge of age owning at 144 degrees. Well, check this out. This is the iPad I use on pit road. It's too hot right now. But it's actually overheating. We have our iPads overheating down here. So I'm going to go find some ice to put this on because we got to take notes on this. This is how I keep track of all the cars I have here on pit road, and it's right now not working.
So even pit road is suffering from the heat. Alex Bowman in the 88s making great time. He's running that high line. Maybe they should think twice about it, as we saw Kyle Larson have a right front tire issue running that high line.
I think that's a good point, Rick. You know, with 6 to go in this stage, what's the big picture? Do we want to maybe slow down just a little bit here and take a little bit of time, or do you need these playoff points, these stage points enough where you're just going to keep pushing?
I think you have to argue the opposite. He has 0 points. He enters at 2,000. I think these are the risks that 88 has to take. I don't think he has afforded the opportunity to be conservative, right? He had 26 weeks to build himself a little bit of a cushion. He did not do that. I know it's a risk, but I think he has to fight for every point in this first round.
Steve, they just told him a couple laps ago, take it easy. The 42 just lost a right front, so he knows.
Marty.
Rick, I want to show you what Jeff Burton was talking about. You can see the outer casing of the tire for Kyle Larson obliterated, but the inner liner that Goodyear mandates, that's what saved that right front fender. He was able to ride around on that inner liner, saving the right front fender. So, Jeff, you're right. The right front fender on the 42 doesn't look that bad, and it's because of that inner liner.
Well, that's a good break for those guys in a bad situation. They did catch a good break. But how about this race? They told Alex Bowman, hey, take it easy, but I don't think he listened. He's still digging hard.
Do race car drivers ever listen when someone says take it easy?
Rarely.
To be clear, they rarely listen at any point.
So the battle continues for the 3rd spot. Kurt Busch has it. Alex Bowman's trying to take it.
Look at this replay of the 78. Hits something, looks like a brake hose, yep.
I'm guessing off the 42. That flat right front tire would pull that hose off.
Bowman took that spot from Kurt Busch.
It's
a nervous times, 2 to go coming into the stage. Know you have tire problems. You really just want to make sure you get to the end of the stage without an issue.
Well, Bowman doesn't have anybody in front of him, not a position close enough to try to achieve. So this is where he could get that information from this crew chief to, hey, man, hold this position. Back it down 90% or 80%.
Yeah, that's not a gamble now. Now it's just silly. You know, now you have to manage it.
Or maybe they're fast enough where he has backed it down. Maybe we're going to see Alex Bowman drive this thing to the front in a little while.
Alex Bowman running 3rd. Martin Truex Jr. out front. Now under 2 laps to go. Final lap of stage 1. Truex Jr. and Harvick running 1 and 2. Alex Bowman about 4.7 seconds behind race leader Martin Truex Jr. So those two have checked out. Truex Jr. and Harvick, just like Harvick did in the spring race here earlier. He was able to check out. Harvick won the 1st stage and the 2nd stage and then went on to win the race. Well, now Martin Truex Jr., as he exits turn 4, is looking to win stage 1 at Las Vegas, and there is another playoff point.
Stage winner, MTJ, come on.
And a battle there for position between Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott, and Elliott noses Kyle Busch right at the line for 5th. Every point matters, and that's championship contender Kyle Larson, 22nd. He took the wave around to get back on the lead lap.
See, Martin Truex Jr. taking that top groove. I like that. Where has Alex Bowman been making his time? He's been making his time at the top of the racetrack, so force him to restart on the bottom. Alex wasn't even beside the 78 when the green flag came out.
Oh, the 9 goes up the racetrack. Had to get out of the gas, and cars continue to go by him. He's going to lose 6, 8, 10 spots down the backstretch.
Oh, that's so frustrating, too. You have that track position, and then you lose it all in one corner. Now you got so much work to do to go get it back.
Chase Elliott trying to take a spot back from the 18 of Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch so strong early in this race and then has not been able to keep that speed up. We're seeing already Jamie McMurray in the 1 drive the high line, and he's trying to get some speed early in this second stage.
Rick, I think that's impressive for a couple reasons. Remember, Jamie McMurray didn't make the playoffs, but also it was reported a couple weeks ago that he won't be back in Chip Ganassi Racing full time. He has the option perhaps to run the Daytona 500. Doesn't sound like he's going to take that option, so still wants to come out and have a good race as we have a caution on the racetrack. Big benefit for the 42 of Kyle Larson. You just told us, Rick, he took the wave around. Now he can pit, get some fresh tires, and be on the lead lap.
And caution out for debris in 3 and 4. And that becomes probably the debris coming off of the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. See how
Going obviously didn't work out. See if he does better here.
field going through the Geico restart zone, back up through the gears. Martin Truex Jr., Alex Bowman 1 and 2. Logano making it 3 wide now for 4th.
And Alex Bowman did better on that restart also. He's alongside the 78. Really good launch by Alex. There you go, Alex, driving in there. Take the win. Take the lead here from old former champion.
And Martin Truex Jr. is going to drive by him on the high side.
Yeah, Truex ran him tight and won it in 3 and 4. Took the side force off that car. That allowed Kevin Harvick to get a run on the 88 as he lost the grip. Also allowed Brad Keselowski to get up here in this battle. Hadn't seen Brad inside the top 10 all day long. Here he is. Couple good restarts. Sorry, a couple good restarts, and he's actually gained a lot of spots here.
Well, now the 88's in the middle of the racetrack. We saw him making up most of his ground in the middle and the high part of the racetrack. Will he move up there early in this run?
No, he can't move up there. It's too early. The field will just make so much time on the bottom. You have to wait till around 15, 20 laps into the run.
You say that, but the 1 of Jamie McMurray, who's back about 6 or 7 positions, he comes into the top of your screen, is running the absolute fence with some success. It easily clears the 20, and now he's going to look for more positions into turn 3.
And the 9 has moved up there as well. Chase Elliott has decided he wants to try the high line. Parker.
Well, Rick, I spoke to Jay McMurray this morning about this exact thing. One, racing against all these playoff drivers. He said, for me, I don't care. It's a normal race. I don't really pay attention to who's in the playoffs or not. But also, you may have noticed that one car has been a lot faster in the last couple weeks. He said, it's interesting. We changed one really small thing, and suddenly we had all this speed. He goes, you notice the 42 car's faster? They changed it too.
Door to door. Clint Boyer in the 14. Chase Elliott in the 9.
Well, Clint didn't give Chase much room, kept him pinched off a little bit, took that air off to the right side of his car. See right there, Jamie had to lift just a little bit. He ran up on the 9, getting into turn 1, had to lift, slowed his momentum down. That allowed Eric Jones to drive underneath him, but Jamie on that outside, he's digging on the outside of Chase.
So many question marks entering this playoffs for the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. Well, welcome to the top 10. Here comes Jimmy Johnson and the 48.
I asked some of the other drivers on an event Thursday, hey, how do you rate, Jimmy Johnson? I asked him himself. I said, listen, you're a long shot. Is that fair as a 7-time champion? And Clint Boyer interrupted me and said, don't wake the sleeping giant. Let this be so those other competitors know. While the numbers may not be impressive for Jimmy Johnson in 2018, Parker, they all understand how dangerous this team has been for so many years.
No doubt, Steve, but when you talk to this race team, they kind of know the position they're in. They tell you consistently that in this first round, they have got to just simply score points. And now where he's running is very important. He's 10th, the last stage point. And Chad Knaus told him before this last restart, you're in 13th. You're so close to those stage points. Go up there and get them, buddy.
And hey, NASCAR fans, if you want more chances to win a fan-built Chevy, Ford, or Toyota truck, go to NASCAR.com/playoffs promo and enter the promo code PLAYOFFS to get 10 extra chances to win the truck of your choice. But don't wait, this bonus offer ends today. That's promo code PLAYOFFS. And we're actually a part of the Ferris wheel right now in turn 4. What a great job Las Vegas Motor Speedway and everyone does here for the fans, giving them the turn 4 turn up and giving them a great experience of Monster Energy Cup Series racing, as Martin Truex Jr. has a 1.6 second lead over Kevin Harvick, who's running second. Keselowski is third, Kurt Busch fourth, Logano fifth, and all the way back in sixth now is Alex Bowman.
There you see him passing Clint Boyer for position earlier just a few laps ago. Had some trash on the front of that grill. Caution's out here.
Cautions come out, and slow car in turn 1 and 2. That's Ty Dillon in the 13.
Not bad. We can probably keep running. Just keep driving around.
Ty was running 29th at the time that this caution has come out. You see damage to the right side, and there goes the right front. The tire, the shell of the tire has just come off.
One of the right side tires kind of slid off, but you're going to have to try and pull the car up.
Remember, we mentioned the inner liner anytime they run on a racetrack a mile into the Geico restart zone. Keselowski, the advantage as they were going into turn 1, but here comes the 78 of Martin Truex Jr. fighting back on the inside.
Oh, look at Brad. He's got the speed off the corner. He's going to be able to take this position.
Harvick's coming with him on the outside.
And I really didn't feel good about that restart from Truex taking that inside line.
Well, I don't think he took it. I think Brad beat him off pit road.
Oh, that's right. So Brad was the control car. That makes more sense to me.
Yeah, Brad was the control car.
Brad utilizing that win off of pit road to keep the lead, as Brad Keselowski now in front of Martin Truex Jr. Kurt Busch is up into the top 3. Joey Logano, Clint Boyer, and look at Logano using the middle of the racetrack to make up ground.
Harvick had an issue off turn 4. So he's back there in 6th place now.
He's still struggling with those guys on that left rear quarter panel, making his car tight through 3 and 4.
Jamie McMurray he is committed to the high part of the racetrack. He has run on the top of the track in 1 and 2 and in the top of the track in 3 and 4.
Rick, you couldn't have said it better. This is the definition of commitment. He doesn't care. New tires, old tires, restart, long run. He has to give up the entry speed. So you watch right here, the 88 will dive to the bottom. He can drive in the corner harder. The 1 will go, but now the 1's already back to wide open throttle, and watch how good it makes this car look down the straightaway. Looks like he has way more horsepower.
Fight for the lead. Here comes Martin Truex Jr. He's been most comfortable down on the bottom of the racetrack. The 2 of Keselowski trying to take that line away and stay in front of him. Now all the way to the apron. Truex Jr. Can he hold that position? Hold that line as Keselowski goes to the middle of the track. Truex Jr. can't get back to the gas as quickly as the 2 of Keselowski, but will he have enough? He clears the 2, and now Truex Jr. in front. Where that is determined, back up through the gears they go.
Watch Jamie McMurray, that orange and black car. Watch him drive into turn 1. He's going to probably go to the top, try to make something happen.
McMurray right away went up high, and the 2 of Keselowski decided to block. That has put McMurray back a bit, but here comes the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. That's the speedy dry they used to put any fluid, get that off the track. That was what you saw behind the 2. Side by side for position as Martin Truex Jr. has dropped back to fighting for 3rd now. And the 48 of Jimmy Johnson right on the white line wants to take that position away.
Rick, before that restart, the Keselowski team told him that the 1 will try that move to the high side. You need to try and block it. Good teamwork there by the 2 group.
It's great information from the spotter. The spotter's been watching that 1 car all day. He knew where he was going to go. How about this battle, Jimmy Johnson?
A little bit of a wiggle there out of Jimmy Johnson. That allows the 78 to take advantage and take that position away. And now it also opens the door for the 88 coming up behind the 22 and the 1.
Oh, that's tight. Murray and Joey Logano.
Logano's going to go to the middle of the racetrack. Jamie McMurray, who'd been running that high line, now back to the bottom of the racetrack. 1 lap to go in stage 2. Keselowski, Kurt Busch running 1 and 2. Martin Truex Jr. comfortably in 3rd. Jimmy Johnson 4th. Jamie McMurray 5th. Logano, Blaney, Bowman, Chase Elliott, and Kyle Larson all looking to get stage points. Another good run for Brad Keselowski. He keeps the momentum alive and will win stage 2.
And Chase Elliott right there. Great job by him to finish 7th, past 2 people on the outside in 3 and 4.
And he does it again. We saw that in the end of stage 1.
Watch Chase Elliott. He got real aggressive. Watch him.
Larson, McMurray making up row 1.
Get ready to find out how important new tires are.
Look at Martin Truex Jr. on that top groove, taking advantage of these guys all on the bottom. Now he goes to the bottom of 3 and 4. Brad Keselowski blocks that move.
How about Trevor Bayne in that 6 car hanging in there tight, doing a great job?
Ryan Blaney right behind him.
I got a feeling he's gonna have a hard time staying there with all these guys behind him, Jeff. All these contenders for the championship trying to gain these spots and get by Trevor as fast as they can. Look how these guys are going 3 wide down the back straightaway.
Pretty impressed with these tires, though, hanging in as well as they are. I thought these guys would just blow by the old tires, but they're not doing it.
It's tough for Truex. Look at him. He's struggling.
Logano taking advantage of that low line, gets by the 6 of Bayne, as does Ryan Blaney. Here comes the 78 of Martin Truex Jr. 3 wide behind them, forward position. Chase Elliott, Paul Menard, and the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. Out front, Larson has the lead. McMurray hanging on to 2nd.
Remember Clint Boyer's comments to you, Steve, about Jimmy Johnson. Please don't wake him up.
Yeah, he's not the type of guy you want to give any sort of confidence or any sort of momentum. And remember, there are 6 champions in the playoff field. 5 of them have won 1 championship. Jimmy Johnson, he's won 7. It's not even close when you look at the numbers.
But again, we're reminded that the 7-time champion hasn't been to victory lane this entire year. Dave.
Rick, you're looking at the 41, that red and black car of Kurt Busch, now back in 13th. What happened? Well, a fuel probe broke on the fueling can after they got the car full of fuel. As the rear tire changer came around the back end, slipped and fell. That cost them time, but the car can make it, let's say, to halfway in this stage.
Fight for 3rd between Keselowski and Kyle Busch. Keselowski has the spot. Kyle Busch has lost it to that 2.
That report we just heard from Dave, that could be a major problem, right, Steve?
Oh, listen, he talks about the fuel window. I'll go back to what I said a minute ago. I know all of these crew chiefs are thinking fuel, but we talk about gambling. It is Las Vegas. Do something different. How about Clint Boyer in 12th? Eric Almirola in 15th. The 10 car hasn't showed the speed. I would do something completely unheard of. Spice up the field, change it all up. I would pit at probably 40 laps into this final stage. Get brand new tires and force everybody else to make a decision. Come get fresh tires and push.
Caution has just come out. William Byron, a lot of damage to the right side of that car and the rear.
William was running in 22nd position.
Take a replay. Take a look at the replay here. It's already in the wall. Didn't get to see exactly how that started, but he made hard contact with the right rear quarter. It's going to hurt the side force on that car, and if they can't even get going to finish this race.
42 of Kyle Larson's going to use that strategy of staying out of pit stop and go to really gain track position. Let's see what kind of car he has now that he has even tires.
Look at Blaney making it 3 wide and putting Jimmy Johnson on the outside.
Outside prevails again, Jeff. Brad Keselowski will take the lead off turn 2. Larson clear for 2nd.
Jimmy Johnson's still on the outside. Has Jamie Murray underneath him. I think that's a good thing for Jimmy. Jamie hasn't been on the bottom much today.
Back down to the apron for Truex Jr. trying to get by Logano.
It's the first time we've seen Larson up in the top 5 with even tires since the right front tire issue earlier in the race. So, like I said, his car doesn't have quite the speed on the takeoff on stickers. He doesn't have quite the speed. As you see, he's being hounded by the 22 of Logano for second place. He's wanting them long green flag runs so he can move that car up the track. Marty.
That's true, Junior. They don't take off very well on the 42, but they are so good at the end of the run. Kind of like Martin Truex Jr. right behind him. But, Junior, the one thing that surprised me about the 42, after he cut that right front tire down and that right front tire went, he's not been shy about running that top line. They feel like that's where their speed is. He's staying committed to it.
Well, with only 80 to go under the restart, that shouldn't be an issue now, I would imagine, Dale, right? You can run 40 and 40, just split it up in the middle, run right around the top. Really, these drivers now, it's go time. There's no more saving tire, no more conserving. Time to try to go win a race.
He's struggling right now. Carl Larson down in 1 and 2, missed the bottom. Car got tight, bounced up the racetrack. He's having a hard time running that bottom groove and keeping pace. He's running the groove, but he's having a hard time keeping the pace with these top 3.
We've seen a few different drivers that have been out front. Let's take a look at today's lap leaders brought to you by Honda Power Sports. Martin Truex Jr. has led the most laps at 79. Brad Keselowski, who's up front right now, will continue to add to his laps led. There's 36 now for Brad Keselowski. Joey Logano at 33. Harvick led 14 before now he's out of the race. And then Kyle Larson was up front for 12 laps.
We're back here with Kyle Busch. See, he's struggling. He's back in 16th place. He's trying to make this outside work, and he is way against the wall. You see right here, a lot of good cars underneath him, and Kyle just barely touched it off turn 4, but he's having some major issues right now, Parker.
And Jeff, they actually had a slow stop there. He lost a couple of positions on pit road, and the reason being is the pit crew thought they saw some damage on the front end. They went back to look and maybe repair it and found nothing there to actually fix, Dave.
And Parker, his teammate Denny Hamlin was also in this picture fighting for position 2. It's not been a good day for the 11 team. Denny has reported all day long the car will not turn. They just have not been able to get that tightness out of it.
Great battle right here. Jimmy Johnson with a real competitive car today, taking the fight to Kyle Larson as Kyle Larson continues to struggle to maintain track position. Battle for second. Joe Logano's got his hands full with Martin Truex Jr. down in turn 3. Joey can't hold the bottom. Truex can. That's the difference between those two cars and the speed, the handling.
Joey drove that car so far down in the corner. Just couldn't keep his left sides on that white line. He's trying to get away from Martin Truex and just carried a little too much speed.
Now can Truex chase down Keselowski? The gap between the two about a half a second.
See the 42 on the other side of the screen just coming off turn 2.
And he's just in front of Jimmy Johnson.
Just in front of Jimmy. He's running the top now.
Yeah, you mentioned his struggles in that last lap. I hit you on the shoulder and said, hey, the 42 has come in. It took 1 lap. It was instant.
We'll see what kind of lap times he's running up there. 75, leaders of the 69, but
second fastest,
second quickest lap. Yep.
Oh, yeah, he's gone from the defense to the offense. He's going to start working on the 12 of Ryan Blaney. It was instant. He was slipping and sliding, not able to get the power down, and once that car came to him in 1 lap, it was obvious how quick that 42 is. With 72 to go, if this race runs green, that's what he needs. He's just not great on the restarts.
Well, here you go, Steve. We're going to find out. Speed's at the line. Sue is the fastest. There you go, Kyle Larson, 3rd.
Martin Truex Jr. starting to eat away at that lead that Brad Keselowski has after that last lap.
The problem Kyle Larson has is everybody knows he's running the top, so the last time he wanted to, Blaney went up there to block him. Yep. As we look back at the lead, you mentioned it, Rick. Brad Keselowski's doing a nice job of just being efficient, trying to
get it better. We still got 70-something laps to get it done here. We just need to think big picture. I'm not stressed now. All right, well, it sounded like it. You were complaining big time there.
They were joking that he was stressed out. He said, I think the car's on the splitter in this first 10 laps. We got to get that figured out by the next stop, Kelly.
Well, it was a big unknown just how fast this 9 team would be on another 1.5 mile track. Ellen Gustafson, the crew chief, told me they're trying some new things in this car, and if they hit on it, they thought it would be really fast. He has been today. They've had to recover from one slow pit stop, but Chase Elliott back up running 6th.
Big hit by Jamie McMurray. Into the wall he goes. Catches the 9 of Chase Elliott. McMurray sliding up the track. Now back down into the traffic.
All you got.
But McMurray and the back end of that car gone. Window net is down. And look at the damage to Chase Elliott.
Wow.
Looked
Battling
like,
for 5th position.
yeah. Looked like the one turned around, like the left rear tire.
Yeah.
Yeah, the spin was so fast. It looked like he had an issue.
And we just talked about it. How these playoff guys that we thought were in great shape coming into this race, an issue like this, and now you have a lot of ground to make up. Running well. Parker.
Well, guys, Jay McMurray came on the radio just a couple laps before that and said he had gotten into the wall. He asked the team if they saw any smoke. They said no, but that might have been the culprit there, maybe of cutting a tire down.
Would make sense, Parker. Dale, you and I were watching that battle between the 22, the 42, the 9, the 1. They were all kind of in that mix together, and I mean, the 1 snapped around on entry into turn 3. And Rick, you said a hard impact. That is the longest slide we've seen in a long time. Up the wall, back straight into it. As you see on the left side, the 9 continues to drop -2. That'll only get worse as he continues to lose positions.
That's McMurray walking back to the ambulance. He'll head to the infield care center.
Here's the contact with the wall that Jamie was worried about. Pretty significant contact right there.
Wow,
man,
that was a big hit.
So, yeah, I'm assuming that cut the right rear tire. It's got a big tire rub now.
You see some wisps of smoke out of the right rear. Now right here, look at this, to the bottom, and watch how quick this car turns around and up the racetrack.
Chase Elliott just absolutely nowhere to go. Somebody sitting at home saying, why didn't he just turn left? Well, the cars don't turn that quickly. You cannot get it slowed down. And
Larson a moment ago. Our best hope right now, if that 2 keeps holding up that 78, their cars come in at the same time. But if the 78 starts checking out, because we've seen it, once he gets to the lead, and if he gets around this 2 and 22, he's gone.
What the 78 wants to do is be right on that quarter panel on corner exit, just like this right here, side by side down the front straightaway. Side draft. He's going to move down onto the apron. This is where he's going to get him down in turn 1 and 2. He's going to be clear. Clear of the 2 car. Now he's going to try to focus on the caution.
Kyle Busch into the grass.
Keep coming here.
Kyle Busch into the grass. Looks as though he's going to try to continue, but another problem for the playoff contenders.
Right front's coming apart. Don't
this
knock
is
the fender
crazy.
off. Leaders in 4.
It's amazing how many of the playoff contenders have had problems.
And look at the top 2. Kevin Harvick out of this race. Kyle Busch, both coming in with 2,050 points. We thought we're well ahead of everyone else, but now both having issues.
Kyle's got a right front tire issue. He's trying to maintain slow speed so he doesn't do more damage to the car. We're going to take a look at the replay here in turn 3 and 4. He gets a little crossed up, running that high line. It's a little dirty up there from the wreck we just had with the 9 car and the 1 car, and you see, I think he just gets loose in the speedy drive. What he's really fortunate of is through this grass, not ripping the front splitter off the car. Very, very lucky, because that would have ended his day right there.
I thought it pushed the 78. Accelerators down. They fan out once again behind the top 2. Kyle Larson pushing the
2. He's trying to get on that quarter panel. He's
3
there.
wide for the lead. Here comes Larson on the high side.
What a move.
Larson, they make contact down the backstretch.
Gonna be 3 wide, getting into 3.
Here comes the 78 again. Martin Truex Jr. trying to take advantage of the low line. Kyle Larson's gonna hang on to the lead as they come out onto the front stretch. What a restart for Kyle Larson, but battling back is Martin Truex Jr. in the 78. And here comes the 2 of Keselowski. Keselowski trying to clear the 78 before they get into 3. Marty
Remember the early run issues for Kyle Larson all day long. He asked the team to be bold in the air pressure adjustments to get the splitter off the ground. I guess it worked. He's in the lead, Rick.
And here comes Logano all the way down to the apron. He passes the 78. Will the 78 dive back to the bottom of the track to get that position back?
That's a big change right there for Martin Truex Jr. Now he's all the way back and forth with only 28 to go. Can he even get back to the front? A lot of pressure for the lead.
Saw a little bit of a tire smoke on the left rear quarter panel, that 42 car, with the contact he had with Keselowski. Got a small rub there coming off turn 2.
Here comes Brad Keselowski on the inside once again. Does he get to the quarter panel? They're side by side, racing for the lead. Keselowski the advantage when they went across the stripe. Now can Larson utilize that high line, get the momentum going once again and get back by. You still see that tire rub on the left rear.
What a run he had around the top of 1 and 2. Incredible run.
Talk about coming to life in the playoffs and having to perform. Kyle Larson hasn't won in 2018. He's had 5 runner-up finishes. Now trying to close the deal here at Vegas.
What's he going to do right now in turn 1? Is he going to go to the top again? He does go to the top. Opens the door for Keselowski on
Look
the
at
bottom.
that left rear tire rub.
Still working, man. That makes me nervous. Nothing he can do about it now, though. Just got to go.
Seems to only happen in 1 and 2. A ton of load up there as he runs that high line. He's really loading that car, getting a lot of travel that left rear. But he's holding Brad Keselowski off doing that. That's what he has to do if he wants to win this race. He cannot let the 2 car by. The 2 car, to me, looks a little bit better on speed. If he gets in that clean air and that lead, it's over.
And once again, diving to the bottom of the racetrack, Keselowski trying to use a shorter distance around the track to get the advantage.
Brad's got to know that the longer they go, the better the odds are that the 42 is going to get higher and higher and higher, and on the long run be the better car. So Brad needs to get that lead as soon as he can.
Not able to get to the quarter panel there as it came out of 4.
Don't count that 78 yet. Remember, it takes him about 10 laps to get going. He's got a long way to go. He's got to go through a lot of people, but I would not give up on him.
Tire rub seems to be getting a little bit better on the 42.
And he was all the way, almost against the wall that time through 1 and 2.
Yeah, the concern is, did it wear the tire away or did it rub the fender away? Clearance in that tire. Looks like to me, Larson just keeps moving higher and higher up the racetrack, and here comes Truex on the bottom.
Mark Truex Jr. trying to take 3rd away from Logano. Kyle Larson had dominated at Darlington. And then, after a late race, caution came out, and the 2 of Brad Keselowski was able to win the race off of pit road. Larson loses Darlington.
This is an interesting move here. Brad Keselowski ran the middle of the racetrack.
It actually helped him, though, didn't it?
He kept pace.
Now he learned a little bit something. Let's see what he does getting into 1. You see Truex getting by Logano. There he goes.
Brad in the middle of the racetrack again.
Back to the bottom on corner exit, though.
If Brad gets on that quarter panel, he can side draft the 42 down the back straightaway or down the front straightaway. Put him in position to make the pass for the next corner.
There you go. He went back to the middle. And
that's the first time for the 42 in the top of 3 and 4.
Stayed very high through 3 and 4, and he'll keep his 1 to 2 car length advantage over the 2. Caution coming out. Denny Hamlin in the grass. That was coming off of turn 4.
And he does have
playoff contender.
He does have severe damage to that splitter.
And he stops right in his pit stall.
That car is destroyed.
Another playoff contender, and yes, the front end of that car destroyed. You see Denny Hamlin takes the steering wheel off. He's going to climb out of the car. He knows his day's done.
He struggled all day long with this car. All the Gibbs guys have been struggling today, and they all found trouble one way or another. That's so much damage that obviously the day's over for these guys. Denny very frustrated. Take a look at the replay here from the helmet cam.
Yeah, this will be crazy.
Entering turn 3 at the top.
A lot like what we saw his teammate. Just came around on corner exit. Right there in the grass. I'm really interested to see Watch this nose when the splitter digs in right there.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
destroys it. You know, a major advancement, I think, potentially coming to the sport at Charlotte Motor Speedway. They changed that. It's no more grass. Now it's an artificial material where the cars will hopefully slide over it. I surely hope that works. I think it will. That's going to be a major change to keep these cars from getting damaged like this.
On the inside, Logano on the outside, then Larson and Truex Jr. making up row 2.
Logano spun his tires in the outside lane. That's going to help Larson.
Larson trying to take over second. He moves ahead of the 22. Keselowski out front. Larson running second. Here comes Ryan Blaney in the 12. And on the outside, Martin Truex Jr. with momentum.
Contact.
Now all the way down to the bottom of the track. He's trying to take second away from Blaney.
Behind these guys, they're 3 wide. Trouble, we got trouble.
Jimmy Johnson's in the fence.
There's smoke coming out of the left front.
Jimmy Johnson's got a right front tire issue.
Contact between the 12 and the 78 on the apron.
Clint Boyer has a problem, too.
Clint Boyer's hit the wall.
Yeah.
See all the damage to the 48. More playoff contenders with problems. Now 11 different playoff contenders have been involved in accidents.
Alex Bowman's going to have a problem, too. I think he has a tire down as well.
He does. He has a left front tire down.
3 more playoff contenders in 1 lap.
9 laps to go.
Coming to you, guys.
He's going to try to get to pit road. He will. That's Alex Bowman on the right side of your screen. Racing continuing, and Keselowski checking out. A second lead over Blaney. Attrition, definitely the story today for the playoff contenders. Logano with a big run. He's going to go by the 42.
Look at this, 3 wide, 4 wide. Alex Bowman up against the wall. You can see there.
Oh, man, that's big contact with a 41 car.
And you have to wonder if the 41 hadn't shown a problem yet, but he may have one coming. Jimmy Johnson in the side of Clint Boyer.
And Logano almost into the wall as he came out of turn 2. Now Logano slowing down because he has a 78 coming up on the inside.
And Kyle Larson's jumped up to that very top. There's too much going on, Rick. I can't keep up with it.
Think if you were a spotter or one of the drivers out there right now. Here comes Larson again. Tucked in behind the 22. He's going to run that high line.
The 41 of Kurt Busch is off the pace, but still out on the racetrack in 12th position. What a battle down the back straightaway.
Contact made. The 22 of Logano trying to hold off that 42 of Larson. Larson all the way up against the wall again. And now he tries to get by the 78 of Martin Truex Jr.
And the caution's out, guys. We have another yellow.
It's going to be a sprint to the finish.
Must be some debris on the track from all those issues.
How could there be debris? There was only 5 cars with flat tires. My goodness.
Talking about debris in turn 2.
Saw coming out of turn 2, the 22 sliding up the racetrack. He gets into the wall.
Wow, that's another big contact. Now he has to be nervous. Remember what happened to Jamie McMurray early in the race? He got into the wall similar to that, and he ended up blowing a tire.
It's his tires.
Watch Logano, watch his move.
Logano, yeah. He's up on the
Going
quarter
on the
panel.
outside, I mean. Here comes Blaney trying to go 3 wide.
Logano's got the position.
Logano's going to pull the air off Keselowski. Will make him really loose off 2.
Logano's in the position right here.
They bump going down the backstretch. Side by side for the lead. Diving into turn 3, Keselowski forging ahead of the 22.
We got another crash.
And they crash behind with the 34 into the wall, collecting the 41 of Kurt Busch.
2 more playoff drivers, the 41 and the 14, both involved.
And that means overtime.
And another restart for Brad Keselowski.
And Michael McDowell was having a really good run. He was running 11th spot right there. Would have been a great day for this team.
And you see the fluid running out. They'll have to clean that up. The 38 also involved with David Reagan.
41's also on pit road with heavy, heavy damage. Said Clint Boyer was involved. I thought he was involved, but he drove away. Hard to say. That car's seen better days.
And now the question, can the 41 continue?
Going to get the red flag. Cars are going to park over in turn 3.
Flag's out.
Impressive move by Brad Keselowski burying that car down into turn 3 to pull ahead and clear the 22.
I had no idea he could drive the car into
either.
the corner that deep. When he,
You think he did?
I'm like, and he made it work.
Holy smokes, these starts are crazy.
Let's see some replays about how this crash here happened. A lot of guys involved.
Still there. Clear. Watch him here. Stay low, 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 low. Go up high here. We're
Looked
middle.
like
There you go.
maybe
See him. There
David
you go. Nice job.
Reagan.
Yeah, it was Reagan.
Car
David
got
Reagan.
Loose.
Reagan and McDowell
Yeah.
right there.
Teammates.
Yeah, and 41 right behind him. 41 looks good till right there.
4 coming up on overtime, presented by Credit One Bank. It'll be a 2-lap shootout.
Not a good start for Joey. What's Truex going to do here?
He's pushing the 2. Now he moves to the outside.
But the side draft from Joey slowed him down a little bit, and that clears Keselowski.
How about Larson on the bottom? Keselowski looks to be in great shape right here.
Down the backstretch they go. Keselowski way out in front. An 8-car length lead already.
5 back in line.
Larson all the way to the top of the racetrack. And now, one more time around. The final lap at Vegas.
And how about Almirola back there underneath Blaney for 5th?
Keselowski trying to keep the momentum up. He won the Southern 500 2 weeks ago. Last week, he wins the Brickyard 400. And now, he's going to be able to punch his ticket into round 2. Coming out of turn 4, Keselowski wins 3 in a row. He'll win at Vegas.
Great job, everybody. Heck yeah.
We wondered who would win the 500th race for Team Penske. It has been decided. Brad Keselowski gets that organization's 500th win.
Good job, buddy. Great restarts. 3 in a row at Vegas. Cha-ching, baby. Nice job. Great job up pit road, everybody. Thank you.
Brad Keselowski wins the first race of the Monster Energy Cup Series playoffs. Well, his daughter's not going to have to kiss the bricks after this race. She didn't want to do that at the Brickyard in Indianapolis, but a tradition that Brad has continued after every win.
What were those odds?
Yeah, it was 64,000 to 1.
And we had $1 on it, right?
That you could
number
win.
500, buddy. Win number 500.
That you could win 3 races
yeah.
in a row in
Forgot
a
about that
40-car
one.
field. Oh yeah, he said, I forgot about that one.
500 at the company, man. Really proud.
The Stars and Stripes always ride along with Brad Keselowski after each win. Such a huge supporter of the armed forces as well as the veterans. This moment right here, presented by Sunoco, fueling victories all season long. And the last 3 races for Brad Keselowski.
They really weren't on the radar earlier in the year. Stewart-Haas, they were the dominant Ford team all season.
I'd say they weren't on the radar 3 weeks ago. I mean, these guys, 3 in a row. I didn't think they could win a race in the playoffs. Prove me wrong.
Well, he just won the first one.
And he's piling up these playoff points that are going to carry him through these rounds.
And of course, out in Sonoma, they've got an eye on not only the race there for the Ryzen IndyCar Series, but the captain's watching back here. And yes, that's right, 500 for Roger Penske, the celebration already underway, and the smiles for the captain. With the win, he moves into the second round. And you look at the playoff leaderboard, Martin Truex Jr., a very good day. Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, both struggling today, but those playoff points that they brought into this race could propel them into that second round.
Kyle Busch found a way to rally, and with all this trouble, he finished 7th. That was a huge comeback for Kyle Busch and his team.
Well, and Austin Dillon finished 11th today, +9. That is not fancy. It's not, doesn't have a lot of lights and flash to it, but very effective for what he's trying to do.
So watch Kyle Busch. He never quit. I know he was frustrated, but look at him 3 wide, coming to the start-finish line and take the checkered. Just a great effort. He spun the car earlier, had all kinds of problems, but you just never know what's going to happen when everybody else had trouble. They kept digging, and 7th place finish.
Suarez, a top 10 finish. Newman, Menard, non-playoff drivers that all finished up in the top 10. 12 playoff drivers in all had issues today of the 16. And again, only 12 will advance into round 2.
One thing that did do, Rick, is think about who was one of the first guys to have trouble in this race early. Eric Jones into 20. Well, he finished 15th. He's 15th in points, finished way back, but it could have been a lot worse. He's 19 points out, but with problems in a race that early, I think he has to feel reasonably good about a very bad day.
Heading into the Neon Garage and to victory lane for Brad Keselowski. A unique victory lane here at Vegas, and why wouldn't it be in this entertainment capital of the world? The fans get to be a part of this. And a reminder, we'll get to the IndyCar race after this victory lane celebration, and then post-race interviews. You can find those on NBCSports.com. All smiles for Paul Wolfe, crew chief there in victory lane. Let's go down to Dave.
Give me a couple minutes, guys. Helmet is still on for Brad Keselowski. We'll get back to you.
All right. And the uniqueness of Las Vegas, you see fans able to enjoy the victory lane celebration. And what a day and what 3 weeks it has been for Brad Keselowski. A team that hadn't won all throughout the regular season goes to Darlington, and an impressive pit stop by their team gets him out in front. He's able to outdo Kyle Larson on a late restart, go on to get win number 1 of the season for him. He backs it up with a Brickyard 400 win the very next week, and now that momentum is strong for this entire team as he gets the 500th win for Penske and the first win of the playoffs, ensuring him a spot in the round of 12. Helmet is off, climbing out of the car. Now we'll go back to Dave.
There he is, and saluting his team right back because he got a much needed shower after a long day. Hot temperatures and multiple restarts there at the end, Brad. How did you hold that field off?
Oh, man. I think first off, Dave, I got to say, congratulations to all those fans that made it through the whole race in the stands at 100 degrees. That was really cool. Thank you to the fans. And Penske, 500 wins today. Huge day for the captain. I know Mr. Penske's watching. You did it, boss. But to start off the playoffs with a win is, that's really strong, and let alone the 3 in a row and all that great stuff. But it's really a testament to this team here. They've been so strong on pit road, and I couldn't have done it without them. We weren't as fast as the 78 car, but we nailed the pit stops and the restarts when it counted, and that put us in position. So really, really proud of the effort from the team here today. Fun race, hot one, but those restarts, that was the key.
Strong on pit road, strong on the track. Brad Keselowski, the winner at Las Vegas.
Great day for Almirola, Blaney, Logano, Truex Jr., and Larson, but an excellent day for Keselowski as he wins here. Now let's go back out to Sonoma and Lee Diffie.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.